The connection between the 49ers and the Texans is obvious because I've been saying for weeks I think Jimmy Garoppolo ends up in Houston if he's cut. Now, the pushback is, they really believe in Davis Mills. They think they found something in Davis Mills. They think Davis Mills is their future. And I don't want to read too much into the preseason because it's not a realistic reflection. It looks like a real football game. It feels like a real football game. It is nothing like a real football game. There isn't specific game planning. You don't have in-game adjustments. You don't have that fourth quarter where the game could go either way. Do you rise up and make a big play, or do you throw an interception into triple coverage? Those moments never happen. So we really don't get a full measure of the quarterback or any other player in the preseason. Still, Charean, I don't think anybody looks at Davis Mills and thinks this guy is on track to become a top 10 quarterback. Not that Jimmy Garoppolo is, but Jimmy Garoppolo's a fringe top 20 guy, which means he's better than a third of the league's starters. And if he's cut, if he's available, how do the Texans not at least consider him, given that the GM there is the guy who was involved in drafting Jimmy Garoppolo 8 years ago in New England?
Yeah, Mike, but if you're not going to make the playoffs, and I don't think the Texans are going to make the playoffs, don't you want to be
careful, Stephen Ross? Careful, Stephen Ross. Careful.
Well, right.
Careful.
But you want to have the worst record to get the higher pick. It looks like a pretty good quarterback draft.
No, we don't. We don't talk about those things
next year.
But
when you win. You would win more games with Jimmy Garoppolo. You would win more games with Jimmy Garoppolo than with Davis Mills, I think. But I truly think they want to see Davis Mills, how he plays this year. Can he be a franchise guy? They will find that out. If not, hopefully, for their sake, without the T word, they can get high enough to draft a quarterback who's going to be the future of the franchise.
The first rule of Tank Club: do not talk about Tank Club. It's just something where nature just has to take its course, and we're just playing our best players, and we're trying to win every single game, and we're also implementing a long-term plan. It worked for the Browns. They had that 4-year plan that had specific financial incentives for front office members and coaches that were based on factors that were not going to lead to winning, and the NFL gave them a pass on that. So the key is just don't say out loud what you're doing. And if the Texans aren't interested in Jimmy Garoppolo, if he becomes available, maybe they're trying to position themselves for one of the great young quarterbacks next year. And if the Falcons insist, as they seem to be, on going forward with Marcus Mariota and maybe Desmond Ridder at some point, although Ridder could become their guy. But you can spot the teams every year. The teams that just recognize, that realize, we'll take our lumps for now. It's not like we regard ourselves as a high-end contender, and we could emerge from this on the back end with a far better quarterback, a Joe Burrow maybe, who can transform the franchise. That is a very real temptation. That's exactly what the Dolphins were doing. They were just too blatant about it, but really not, because they got away with it. They got nailed for tampering, but they didn't get nailed for tanking, even though that's clearly what the owner of the team, Stephen Ross, was trying to do.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.